Hello there, welcome to another episode of Fort Triumph. I think this one could be called Failing to Clear the Cave. This is my third attempt after the one that I showed last Thursday, where I failed to clear the cave and lost most of the party. The others weren't as severe. I mean, I've cleared the cave and the others technically, but I generally lost people doing it, and I didn't want to complete the final stage of the mission with missing party members. Now, I don't have permanent switched on, so I might have got my party members back, but it's not quite as satisfying as if they hadn't made it through all stages. I have learned a little bit more caution. I'm trying to keep my units more bunched up so that the party isn't spread out and the Overwatch is actually effective. When I put people into Overwatch, that was one of the big problems I was having, is that I was putting people into Overwatch, but the range on their activation isn't actually as good as I suppose stuff like XCOM, like where some of the Overwatch characters can activate even if they don't have a direct line of sight. Like there's sniper powers that if any party member has a line of sight, the sniper can still shoot and stuff like that. Special abilities of that nature. So, the other thing I noticed is that when I did the restart, and after all the restarts, I came in through a side cave. Not necessarily in the same configuration, but it was always much closer to the support structure that we're supposed to knock out to stop the goblin reinforcements from arriving, rather than the initial cavern layout, where you had to get in by a couple of turns in order to catch sight of the wooden supports and the tunnel that was dug by the goblins in order to reinforce the cavern. I also haven't played the game since. I've noticed in this particular version there's kind of a minor update, because you're getting distance estimators and accuracy and stuff like that, information on the top of the screen, which I don't think I was getting in the previous time I played it. Leandra has leveled up, and I recognised that she was doing it, and I gave her Fireball because it's kind of a wizard classic, but I didn't get to use it. The other thing is that I haven't played the game since this. I've been kind of busy with other stuff. Particularly, I restarted playing World of Tanks, and since they brought out the Mercenary update, I've taken on one of the contracts just to see how they work. I'm showing it on the YouTube video. I've been showing it all week on YouTube videos. However, it's fairly time consuming. There's a lot of stuff that happened by chance or luck. I mean, it depends too, I suppose. If you have a lot of tanks, it actually probably would be fairly easy. But for instance, one of them had to absorb 7,000 points of damage in a Lux or a tank derived from it. Now, the only way to absorb damage in a Lux really is to die. It's only got about 340 or 400 hit points or something like that, so it takes a while to actually absorb 7,000 points of damage in a Lux. And there are others then getting sniper medals and stuff like that, but so I haven't been following up on recent updates to Fort Triumph. I know there have been some. I was just looking at the Steam page for Fort Triumph, and there have been a major update. Actually, it's up to 0.8.0. 22nd of June. It looks like they have added on party inventory. So it looks like between missions you can update you can assign inventory from the party inventory. So potions that are picked up by the party as a group, you can spread them around to the party members, and you can also customize the party members, so you're not stuck with the names that are by default that you've started with. And I think you can do some other customizations, some initial artifacts, and some new missions and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to get back to it and see what else has been added. So this first part of it has been relatively more successful than my usual effort, my previous efforts in this one. So the next bit is to bring down the support structure so as we can collapse the tunnel and stop the goblin reinforcements from getting in. Fortunately, the Overwatch worked this time and that particular goblin didn't get out of the tunnel. The structure looks like it's on a low hit point, so we should be able to finish it off quite handily. And then then we can catch up with the bad guys and see what's going on in the rest of the cavern. So there you have a little bit of a conversation. I hope when they do it, if those little dialogues continue, that if you customize your characters, that the appropriate names will be inserted into the dialogues, that it won't be just the default names. It also seems to imply that you could actually have more than one mage, for instance. Now the powers might be the same, but they seem to have implemented a color, different colors to distinguish characters of the same type, off the same basis that you want to include more than one of. Apparently you could also have a larger inventory of heroes than the current 4 basic ones, but you can only carry 4 heroes and a mercenary on any particular mission. I wonder will they have a thing for hiring mercenaries as well, or would it be just the ones you pick up along the way in the story mode? Like for instance, I think there was one playthrough where in the village I picked up somebody as a mercenary and was able to use them as well. Just that little bit of extra firepower. So now we're coming out of a side tunnel into a major cavern, and these things are always a bit tricky because of the bottlenecked nature. Hopefully now the Overwatch will work this time. Where we put the mage. Well, there is a little bit of cover between her and the bad guys, and hopefully that might be enough. And there they are. We cast Whirlwind to see if we can take out one of them, and we managed to get rid of one, which is useful. It's good to get the damage done preemptively. Now I took the chance there moving Krita up, but it triggers Garbark the Terrible, and he's talking to Bagbor Rockbottoms, trying to persuade him to join in the fight and cover his retreat. Bagbor is being a bit difficult about it and seems to be very well read for an ogre. Poverty is the parent of revolution and crime. There's some pretty good ones. And Bagbor is a voracious reader. So there's Garbark off into the distance, fleeing out of sight. And now there's a goblin wizard, goblin fighter, and triggers the Overwatch, but still makes it to Krita, or makes it past Krita. It doesn't actually go directly to Krita. And Bagbor shouts, frightens everybody, and both Ivy and Krita run off into the distance. They fail whatever save was necessary to keep them in place, so Krita gets another hit. She's pretty low on health now at this point. It is getting very dicey. So Laura, well, we'll brace her there. Now, who have we got here? Ivy. Put Ivy into Overwatch and we move Leandra to a spot. Let's see if we can get... No, she's out of range of fireball. They're all out of range of the fireball. Still don't get to use it. Whirlwind's on cooldown, and I don't really have a target with anything else. Krita is going to have to run away, get her into cover, and get her out of aggro range of the giant anyway. So we brace and see if she get a bit of damage resistance, and the wizard moves, and that's a miss. But he misses Leandra as well. Other goblin moves up and also missed Leandra. Krita takes another hit, but the fact that she was braced saves her life there, I think. She's only on 1 hit point now though, as far as I can tell. That is too far a move for Bragbor to actually get an attack in, it looks like. But he's right up next to the wizard. So Leandra won't be able to do anything at the moment except step away. So she steps away and she's got a lightning bolt, and Krita is going to finish off the goblin in front of her. Stay where she is. Yeah, she's got to. I think she's not a choice. Solara will go down and attack the Bragbor. Does some damage, but he's taking a fair bit of damage. But he had a lot of hit points to begin with. What do we do here? Attack. Go into Overwatch. More missing from the mage, and we have a goblin archer. Making a big point what to do. So the paladins, after taking a bit of a thumping there. And now she's going to have to hit the ogre back. Doesn't quite finish him off. So Ivy will step out from behind cover, finish off Bragbor, and whose goes it now? Gartbark the Terrible runs in again. You may have defeated me, but my master clawed thee. And they sort of give out to him for repeating the speech of the previous minion. So he actually goes straight with them and tells them exactly what happened and doesn't try any big grandstanding. Which results, I think, in a final agreement that Garbark will guide them to the crypt where all the trouble is starting from, and let's see if they can sort it out. How that gets resolved is subject for the next video. So, as it stands, yes, it is technically quite challenging combat. It's entertaining, you get it done pretty quick. The little sort of flavour stuff is just a nice addition to it. I think it makes the heroes stand out a little bit. It will be, I don't know exactly what their plans of development. I must actually have a good look at their website and maybe their forums and see what the long-term plans for this game are, because I find it an intriguing little game, and I don't know, are they planning multiplayer or any of that kind of stuff? So we come back into the sort of campaign map, and Garbark is joined the party to lead them into the crypt. It is time to bring the villain who's really in charge to justice. I like the whole tongue-in-cheek kind of genre-savvy banter that is going, although I do think it would be massively improved with actual voice acting, at least for the default characters. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting and enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up, and if you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.